Check. All right. Long. Peace, family. It's good. So, all right. So, thank you for joining me on what did I do here? I think I made a group. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. All right. So, peace, family. It's good. It's your brother Cool. Thank you for joining today on first part of the treaty series. So, I just want y'all to know off rip. There's a new wave of Moors who are waking up, and we're coming back with an ancient mindset. Ancient mindset being we're actually taking what's being said for value, which is we are God. And as God, we've been endowed with the ability to manifest and create things and to name things and have dominion over things. All right? All these things are given unto us with one condition. That one condition is we honor our mothers and our fathers. We honor our ancestors, both in thought and in action. That's the only requirement. And all these things can be added onto you or, given onto you as a free man, not a bondsman. Okay? So following along and following me on this journey through these treaty series is going to give you a great perception of how to look at law and how to look at our law specifically and how it relates to the modern world, because our treaty is ancient. And I'm not just talking about the Treaty of 1786. The Treaty of Peace and Friendship can be traced all the way back to 1491, which is the treaty between Morocco and Spain. All right? So, that being said, that's what you call general law, meaning it doesn't change over time. General law is customary law, ancient law, aka common law. All right? So, trust me, getting a comprehension of your treaty, you're going to move like a Moor. And you'll be able to move more seamless. You know what I'm saying? Especially dealing with commerce, understanding, understanding, and overstanding your treaty of peace, of amity and commerce. So if because right now, all more is in a situation where how do I move in commerce? How do I get myself right? How do I get myself good standing in law so that way I can proceed forward in commerce? Come back home to the treaty. The Treaty of Amity and Commerce is going to show you. All right. So I'm gonna pull it up. All right. So yeah. Okay. Okay. So before we get started, we gonna go into what sets the jurisdiction. All right. So okay. Just give me a second, y'all. Can't move too fast. You know what I'm saying? Let me just see what's going on. All right. If you're in need of nationality card, just email me. All right. Just email me at sunauniversity@gmail.com, and I'll get you in contact with Brother Kadeem Bey. All right. He's the one who I deal with personally when it's dealing with nationality cards. All right. That's the brother I trust. Okay. So let's get right into it. We're going to see what sets the jurisdiction. There was a comment I saw in the previous video dealing with the UCC. One of the comments was that, prove or show how this is Morocco, or show how we have jurisdiction. So here we go. From Documents of American History, y'all. Letter from George Washington to Muhammad ibn Abdullah, Sultan of Morocco. Y'all know George Washington as the founding fathers, correct? City of New York, December 1st, 1789. All right? George Washington's writing to the Sultan of Morocco from the city of New York. Great and magnanimous friend, since the date of the letter which the late Congress, by their president, addressed to your Imperial Majesty. Now, before we go even deeper, I want to pull up the term Congress for y'all. So y'all know who they talk about when they say Congress. Because Congress is a people. Congress is a people, y'all. All right. So understand right off rip, when you're talking about Congress, you're talking about international law. So anytime you see the term Congress, you already know you're speaking in the realm of international law. That's where Congress has a place. Okay? An assembly of envoys, commissioners, deputies, etc., from different sovereignties who meet to concert measures for their common good or to adjust their mutual concerns. In American law, the name of the Legislative Assembly of the United States, composed of the Senate and House of Representatives. Understand here, y'all, from different sovereignties, envoys, commissioners, deputies. So, envoy. Once again, in international law. In international law. These words are important, y'all. So if you don't know what these words are, you can jot them down, write these, highlight these, remember these. Okay? These words are going to pop, all right? In international law, a public minister of the second class, ranking next after an ambassador. Envoys are either ordinary or extraordinary. By custom, the latter is held in great consideration. Okay? The latter would be ambassador. Okay? So envoy is a second class to an ambassador in dealing in international law. Let's go back. What's the next phrase? Envoy, commissioner. Commissioner, a person to whom a commission is directed by the government or a court, state versus banking. In the governmental system of the United States, this term denotes an officer who is charged with the administration of the laws relating to some particular subject matter or the management of some bureau or agency of the government. Such are the commissioners of education, of patents, of pensions, of fisheries, of the General Land Office, of Indian Affairs. So a commissioner is someone who is given a commission or a directory or a agreement or a obligation or a duty. Okay? Commissioner is dealing with international law from foreign sovereignties. Are you from a foreign sovereignty? We're going to find out. We're going to find out. It wasn't done yet. And deputies. What is a deputy? A substitute, a duly authorized by an officer to exercise some or aloof the functions pertaining to the office. Aloof means a portion. Okay? In the place instead of the latter. Okay? That's what a deputy is, a substitute. So Congress consists of envoys, commissioners, and deputies, etc., meaning more. Okay? Like diplomats, like nationals of their government, okay, foreign representatives. So Congress is dealing with international law. People from foreign sovereignties, okay, by their president. Since the date of the letter which the late Congress by their president addressed to your Imperial Majesty, the United States of America have thought proper to change their government and institute a new one, agreeable to the Constitution, of which I have the honor herewith to enclose a copy. The time necessarily employed in the arduous task and the disagreements occasioned by so great, though peaceable a revolution, will apologize and account for your Majesty's not having received those regularly advised marks of attention, taxes, from the United States, which the friendship and magnanimity of your conduct toward them afforded reason to expect. Can't do it right now. Give me 1 second. I will call you back when I'm done. This long. Now, the United States having unanimously appointed me to supreme executive authority in this nation. So he was appointed, not elected, y'all. He was chosen. Your Majesty's letter of August 17, 1788, which by reason of the dissolution of the late government ran by the late Congress, which was us, okay, because we adjourned Sina D, 1861, appointed me to supreme executive authority in this nation. Your Majesty's letter of August 17, 1788, which by reason of the dissolution of the late government remained unanswered, has been delivered to me. Never responded, okay? Hey, are you guys still active? No response. You know what that means? Acquiesce. I have also received the letters which your Imperial Majesty has been so kind as to write in favor of the United States to the Bashas of Tunis and Tripoli, and I present to you the sincere acknowledgments and thanks of the United States for this important mark of your friendship for them. We greatly regret the hostile disposition of those regencies toward this nation, who have never injured them, is not to be removed on terms of our power to comply with. Within our territories there are no mines, whether of gold or silver, and this young nation, just recovering from the waste and dissolution of a long war, have not as yet had time to acquire riches by agriculture and commerce. But our soil is bountiful, and our people industrious, and we have reason to flatter ourselves that we shall gradually become useful to our friends. The encouragement which your majesty has been pleased generously to give to our commerce with your dominions do I need to say more? Whose dominions? The majesty's dominions. Let's look up what dominions mean. What is dominion? Ownership or right to property. Title to an article of property which arises from the power of disposition and the right of claiming it. The holder has the dominion of the bill. So you understand when you authenticate the birth certificate and you get it done all the way up to federal with the seal and the annex number, you now become the holder in due course. You now have dominion over that estate. Sovereignty or lordship as the dominion of the seas. In the civil law, with reference to the title to property, which is transferred by a sale of it, dominion is said to be either proximate or remote, the former being the kind of title vesting in the purchaser, the former being this, proximate. So proximate is a kind of title vesting in the purchaser when he has acquired both the ownership and the possession of the article. The latter describing the nature of his title when he legitimately acquired the ownership of the property, but there has been no delivery. Okay? So that's what dominion is. So George Washington is thanking the Sultan for generously giving to the commerce of who? The United States. And George Washington is writing and saying thanks on behalf of that. So he's giving thanks for giving to the commerce of the United States dominions. Whose dominions? Your dominions. Whose dominions? The emperor's dominions. Of who? Morocco. Okay? Ownership, right to property. The punctuality with which you have caused the treaty with us to be observed, and the just and generous measures taken in the case of Captain Proctor, make a deep impression on the United States and confirm their respect for and attachment to your imperial majesty. Respect for and attachment to. Attachment. What's the representation of the attachment? Okay? They are attached. They are attached. They are attached to the Empire of Morocco. The United States of America is attached to the Empire of Morocco. The United States of America is attached to the Empire of Morocco. Great Seal of the United States. Together they are one. One Republican government, a more perfect union. One. Okay? This is for the United States of America. This is for indigenous peoples, Moors. Okay? That's our government. That's who the United States of America is attached to. All right? It gives me great pleasure to have the opportunity of assuring your majesty that while I remain at the head of this nation, I shall not cease to promote every measure that may conduce to the friendship and harmony which so happily subsists between your empire and them, and shall esteem myself happy in every occasion of convincing your majesty of the high sense, which in common with the whole nation, I entertain the magnanimity, wisdom, and benevolence of your majesty. May the Almighty bless your imperial majesty, our great and magnanimous friend, with his consistent guidance and protection. So the United States of America is under the protection of who? The United States of America is under the protection of who? The Majesty of Morocco. So they're protectorate. They're under our protection, not the other way around. You got to change your mindset. You're not the slave. You're the master. So when you take claim to your treaty, you're taking claim to mastership, to ownership of your dominions. Your dominions. No one else's. And your dominions gave to the United States of America a ability or a way to do commerce. They owe us. So as long as we function through our treaties, they already know what their obligations are. They already know what the Holy Covenant is. You know why? Because this is an American history document. Not world history, not black history. Specifically, America. Dealing with the Americans. Who are the Americans? I'll come up out of here. Here we go. Okay, y'all. See, because that's a document of American history, right? Who are the Americans? American, one, is an adjective pertaining to America. Okay? American, noun, is a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper-colored races, found here by the Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America. Just so I know what they're talking about when they say copper colored. You understand? Do you see the difference? This is copper. Another example of this would be a brown paper bag, right? So who are the Americans? The original inhabitants or copper colored races. Copper. I believe this Moabitus here falls underneath the category of American. He does not. This is what you call a Native American or an Indian. Okay? Registered underneath the Bureau of Indian Affairs, classified as a U.S. citizen. Okay? This woman here, this Moabitus, okay? She is the original peoples here found by the Europeans. She was already here, y'all. Copper colored. Another example of copper colored peoples. Look at this beautiful family here. Copper colored peoples. Look at here. Copper colored peoples. Let's look at here. Copper colored peoples. What do you think? Who's the American? Who's the American? I'm just saying, y'all. Who's the American? Who's the American, y'all? All right. So, Islam, everybody, Islam. All right. So now that we can relate, we can put ourselves as who we are, right? Okay. So the United States of America is attached to the Moroccan Empire. Okay. This is a representation of an American. This is a representation of those Europeans who came over here and discovered the Americans. These are the copper-colored people. These are for the Europeans that discovered the copper-colored people. And together we have formed a more perfect union because we was tired of warring, mainly with each other, okay? Talk about black on black crime for real, all right? So their attachment to, okay. So that's establishing jurisdiction, where the dominions lie and rest. Put that joint to rest, all right? I'm pretty sure I'm going to get more comments on YouTube talking about, that's not enough. Well, you know what? It's never going to be enough. Do your own damn research. Because when the shit is in your face and you just choose to ignore it, that's on you. I don't feel no type of burden, no type of way to have to answer to anything. Because I'm living who I am. Period. All right? That's it. All right. Now, let's get busy. Okay? The treaty. You know what? Hold on. Before we do that, I'm going to do something real quick. Because I really want to imprint in the mind who you are. Who are you? Copper colored people. Y'all not familiar with who that is? That is Queen Khalifa. Okay? Pictures of true American history. A. You know what the A represents? The A represents a pyramid. Look at how an A is structured and look at how a pyramid is structured. Okay? 3 points. 3 points. And you got the crest at the top, or the capstone, but it's not detached. Okay? Wherever you look on the 7 continents, or what we would call Mu, or Pangaea, or Pangaea, at that time, wherever you went on those 7 continents that all start with the letter A, you find pyramids there. Okay? That's a representation of the A1, alien, not immigrant alien, A1 status. Okay? This is who you are. Emblem of Asia. Okay? This is in the British Museum. Date 1798. An emblem of Asia. Representation of Asian peoples. Interesting how she got the feather though on her head, right? But they got her looking like this. That don't make too much sense. Of course, we know that. And look at this here. An emblem of America, also in the British Museum. Here's the museum number. Title, An Emblem of America. Date, 1798. Ethnic name, representation of American peoples. American peoples. Look at this beautiful Moabitis. Okay? We were here. And of course, Emblem of Africa. You already know. That was another portion of that. Okay? This is America in the 1700s. Look at this. Copper colored people. Look at this. This is Mississippi in the 1700s. This is Mississippi in the 1700s. Copper colored people. This is Bohihio. Okay? King Bohihio, brother of Taino Queen Ana Kaona. Bohichio was the Kashik, the Taino ruler of Shiragra. Okay? That's the house that I descend from. The house of Shiragua. If y'all don't know what Shiragua is what you modernly call Port-au-Prince, Haiti today. Okay? This is where I descend from. This is my brother, my ancestor, my bloodline. Okay? Copper colored peoples. You already know. Red flag, right? 5-pointed green star. Venus is the planet of copper. Also the planet of love. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Copper colored people. These are the pyramids we've built that the Europeans discovered here already. This is in Mexico. That's still in Mexico. That's called the city of Teotihuacan, the city of the dead, where they have the pyramid of the sun and the pyramid of the moon. Also called the birthplace of the gods. See here? This is the copy of the Statue of Liberty. This is the original one. The original one is in France. Okay? Copper colored people. This is an Olmec head found in South America. See how big that thing is? See that big ass nose? See them big ass lips? Copper colored peoples, Americans. And then I even take you for a funny. Even going back into the Europeans. When Saxony was black and England had black royal families. Black Otto I and Egdith. Look at that. You can't tell me that ain't you. Even in Europe. Copper colored peoples. Okay? We can go on and on, but I think you guys got the drift. So let's go. Mindset. Mindset. I'm breaking spells. All right. Y'all ready? Let's go. Done this plenty of times. Okay. So we're going to go right in. So this is the translation version. All right, that was done by Dr. C. Schnook Origin of Leyden, okay, who translated it from Arabic into English. So I'm gonna go from the Arabic translation done by Dr. C. Snook, and then I'm gonna go to the version that they have in their documents as far as the United States goes. Okay, their translation. So, first article is that these articles mentioned in this book, being 25 articles, have been agreed upon by both parties. So both parties agreed. Okay? No one was forced into this treaty. Both sides agreed to it. Okay? Both sides agreed. No one was forced. Okay? So United States of America chose, underneath the leadership of their founding father, George Washington, who was appointed, they chose to come up under the protection of the Moroccan Empire or the Moorish Empire. They chose. Okay? We didn't put them there, they chose. That took place in the presence of their agent, the Honorable Thomas Barclay, who came here from the side of the American states, in translation, Estados Americanos, and whom they had sent to supervise their affairs and their treaty of peace with us. Okay? So understand, in the original tongue, America, or in the Arabic translation, the original tongue, okay, of our ancestors, this landmass is known as the Estados Americanos, according to our treaty. Estados Americanos. So wherever we come together and form our own societies, those are Société Républicaine Estados Americanos, the republic societies of the American states. Who are the Americans again? You see where this is going? Estados Americanos. That's the real name of this continent. Your mindset. What set of laws are you attached to? What covenant is your mind attached to? Are you attached to the Constitution? Or are you attached to the source, your treaty? Because in your treaty, this is the Estados Americanos, the American states. And the American states are the societies, the jural societies of Americans who form and come together. And just so you know, Americans are indigenous. So Americans are not United States citizens, even though today they modernly apply it to descendants of Europeans now born in America. That's what they claim makes them American, but they're not Americans. They're not part of the Estados Americanos, okay? They're not the nationals of that government. We are, and we have an allegiance to it by blood, okay? Second article is that if there shall be war with any nation whatever, no ship of either of the parties shall sail out and take the colors of the enemy. Okay? So if the United States got beef with Russia or China or Germany, as far as warships, tanks, can be automobiles, whatever vessels you could think of, okay? No ship of either of the parties shall sail out and take the colors of the enemy. That means we back up. We sit back and we watch the whole show. You understand? Because it's not our war. Because obviously the United States Corporation Company is at war with the United States of America under the Trading with the Enemies Act. So if you choose to be a member or a U.S. citizen, you're trading with the enemy, because the United States Corporation Company is not the United States of America. Two different governments. We didn't have a treaty with the United States Corporation Company. George Washington was an appointed head of the United States Corporation Company. Okay? So by being a U.S. citizen, or I should say pretending to be a U.S. citizen, unless you naturalize, and even if you have naturalized, there's still a remedy. Okay? Because allegiance is by choice. You can't be forced. to have allegiance to something or someone. Okay? That would be called involuntary servitude, which is unconstitutional. You understand? So, do not take the flag of the, do not take the colors of the enemy, meaning don't join in. Okay? Let me open this door. I'm starting to stuff up again. All right. Just took a little breather. Okay. Okay. So, when the war breaks out, like when China or Germany or Russia or whatever, they already got forts and shit out here. But once they start getting on the road with their combatant or enemy vehicles, we back the fuck up. The American people back the fuck up. The Moors back the fuck up. The people who have allegiance to the Estados Americanos back the fuck up. Do not take the colors of the enemy. Stay out the way. Going to help the enemy, neither from our side nor from that of the Americans. So don't help the enemy of the United States of America, and don't help the enemy of our own nation. Duh, that'll be treason. Third article is that if war has been made with any nation whatever, and a ship has been captured from people belonging to that nation, and there shall be found on board a Muslim or a Christian with goods belonging to them, they shall be at liberty with their goods, even if they were carrying goods belonging to a nation with whom we are at war. Such goods shall not be taken from their hands, nor shall they be compelled to unload them for the sake of the peace prevailing between us and them. Is that clear? So as long as we stay in our lane, don't get involved with any issues that the United States Corporation Company has with their enemies. I'm saying not the United States Corporation Company, I mean the United States of America. The United States of America. Okay? Don't involve yourself in any issues that the United States of America is dealing with the United States Corporation Company. The United States of America is here to protect you. They're okay with you. They agreed to come under your protection. Okay? So when you choose, the protector chooses to come under the protection of a company that is subsidiary to this, meaning they're subject to the United States of America, then you are now trading with the enemy because they have abandoned their seats or their obligation to the covenant. So now the United States of America has washed their hands. That's why the Pope came here in 2012. Okay? Riding around in a Fiat, letting y'all know the game is over. Okay? So, once you're doing business as a U.S. citizen, you're trading with the enemy. You have taken their flag. I mean, you have assumed their colors. Okay? And now you're working against the United States of America, who has allegiance to you. So why are you doing that? They already promised to take care of you and watch you because you bless them with your dominions so they can do commerce. So they already know if you ain't good, they ain't good. So they got beef with the United States Corporation Company. Now, I would suggest you do what us Moors are doing nowadays, declaring our nationality and back up and remove ourselves from operating as U.S. citizens, remove ourselves from thinking like U.S. citizens and go back to the ancient ways and thoughts of our ancestors, because that's what's relevant to us. Okay? So, third article, and understand that we are in war, y'all, because when Abraham Lincoln was in office and Congress adjourned sine die in 1861, which was the year he came into office, the United States went under the General War Powers Act. Okay? General War Powers Act, General War Powers Act, meaning martial law, meaning the Lieber Code. So we are at war, y'all. We're at war. Not us, but there is war. It's been war since 1861. Really, it was 1854, really between us, but on the record wise, 1861, when we were during Sina Dia, when we abandoned ship. We didn't like each other, so we didn't want to do commerce no more. We was like, fuck y'all, fuck y'all, fuck y'all. All right, and then the Europeans was like, well, if they're gonna abandon it, we could use this to our advantage. All right. So let's go over this third article again because it's so clear. Is that if a war has been made with any nation, whatever, and a ship has been captured from people belonging to that nation, and there shall be found on board a Moslem or a Christian with goods belonging to them, they shall be at liberty with their goods, even if they were carrying goods belonging to a nation with whom we are at war. Such goods shall not be taken from their hands, nor shall they be compelled to unload them for the sake of the peace prevailing between us. And when they say unload, like glove compartment, open your trunk. Let's take your car apart. Let's search it. That will be unloading. Okay? Empty out your pockets. Hands up. Stand against the wall. You got anything on you? That's unloading you of all of your property. Okay? Which your treaty in Article 3. So I should start plugging these articles. So Article 3, okay, will be the same as the Fourth Amendment. Bill of Rights. There you go. Article 3. Okay? The whole goal is to maintain the peace. But they don't want to maintain the peace with U.S. citizens. The United States of America wants to continue to maintain peace with the Muslims of the Moorish Empire, of Morocco, the Maghrib al-Aqsa, because we have blessed them with our dominion so they could do commerce. They didn't have nothing. They needed land so they can start generating commerce. That lets you know right there you don't have anything unless you have land, unless you have dominions. All right? So for the sake of the peace prevailing between us and them. Fourth article. There shall be a signal. Instead of signal or pass, the original has only one word, aldma, meaning signal, sign, or token. All right? Remember, this is the original translation. So I'm going to read this one and then we're going to read Article 4 in the American translation. Okay? So, fourth article. There shall be a signal between us by which we may know each other at sea. Whenever one of us meets a warship, he shall not examine it, but the declaration of the commander shall suffice him concerning her, the warship, with other ships. See? So there shall be a sign or signal, right, or token, between us by which we may know each other at sea, whenever one of us meets a warship. So we're all going to come under one sign and pass at sea. At sea. So our treaty is dealing with admiralty, right? At sea. Because why? We're under war. Not us, but the United States is at war. And they're under the General War Powers Act. This is war. So therefore, our treaty is our protections in times of war to help maintain and secure our peace. Yeah, I get what I'm saying. Okay? I was going to pull up. What's the example of a sign, seal, or token? Okay? So this is an example here of the sign. Let's go back here, right? Fourth article. There shall be a signal, right? Meaning signal, sign, token, between us by which we may know each other at sea. How do they know you at sea? Because on your vessel or your warship, because we're dealing in admiralty. Why? Because the United States is under the General War Powers Act. When I say the United States, I mean the United States of America. De jure. They're under the General War Powers Act because they're at war with the United States Corporation Company. They're not at war with the Moorish Empire. They're under our protection. Okay? So every state or every country or every republic has a sign or signal that everybody recognizes when we come to meet at sea. So no matter what jurisdiction you're doing commerce with on behalf of your empire, there is a sign and signal or a seal or a token that is recognized by all people within that jurisdiction or territory, that is recognized on your warship or your automobile, which is plates. Okay? These are what go in the back of the car. These are what go in the back of the automobile. Okay? This is not the enemy. This is not the enemy. Okay? This is not the problem. This has nothing to do with the problem. It's how you go about attaining this is the problem. Are you in your proper person? Are you operating through your declaration, meaning your articles of organization for your trust, to register your warship in the name of your trust that is attached to your treaty? So that way, when you go into your warship and you go out at sea, right, you will be known. They will know you. Who is they? Those agents and agencies of the United States Corporation Company. They will know you by the sign or signal. Boop, boop. Oh, Sunoshi Amaru Republic. And Sunoshi Amaru Republic is attached to the treaty. You understand? Fifth article. If either of the parties shall be at war, the original has only if there shall be war. So let's go back to the fifth article. If either of the parties shall be at war and shall meet a vessel at sea belonging to the other, it is agreed that if an examination is to be made, it shall be done by sending a boat with 2 or 3 men only. And if any gun shall be bred and injury done without reason, the offending party shall make good all damages. Don't that sound like what was it? Essentially restitution? Relief of grievances. So if you get damaged, oh, look at it. If any gun shall be bred and injury done without reason. You already know guns are not constitutional. They're called arms. But guess what? This is our treaty. So in our treaty, our laws come first. So guess what? If any gun shall be bred and injury done without reason, the offending party shall make good all damages. So if they stop you in your travels, operating in your vessel that's underneath the envoy or protection of your organization or your temple or your society that's operating with the treaty, and if anything happens to you, there goes that Bill of Rights again, Fourth Amendment, because now you have private property. Everything in the name of the trust is considered private property. So therefore, you must be compensated for private property if it's damaged. Okay? So if they injure you, all damages must be made good. Article 5. The sixth article is that if Muslims shall capture people of our, meaning here the Americans, nation or their goods, and bring them to our, here meaning the Moroccans, Lord may God give him victory. He will set them at liberty. Likewise, if Muslims from other than our dominions shall capture them and bring them into any of our ports, they shall be set at liberty, because they are under our protection and on terms of peace with us. If Muslims from other than our dominion shall capture them and bring them into any of our ports, they shall be set at liberty. You understand? So not only if we as Muslims were to capture Christians, they'll be set at liberty, but even other Muslims, other than our dominions, because Moors are all over this planet. We are Moors of the Americas. Okay? And why is that? Because they are under our protection. Who is they? The American. Who's the American? The Christian. You don't get confused who the Muslim is. The Christian, then they got the American. Okay? Now, this is what you have to understand too. He was on both sides of the war. Both sides. So the Moors of the Moorish Empire or Morocco were also warring with the Moors of the Estados Americanos, because we were on both sides of the war. We were on both sides of the war. The Europeans got caught in the middle. Okay? Which is why they chose to come under our protection, and they broke away from King George. Okay? Because us, as the Almanicanos, or the Americans, the copper-colored peoples, we had a different way of living over here that was a lot more free. Everyone was their own prince or king or sovereign. They had reign over their own dominions, as long as they live according to the tenets and their customary laws. Okay? So as far as this treaty goes, they're not talking about Muslim. They ain't talking about you. Because they don't say Muslim and they say American. They say Muslim or Christian. The sixth article is that if Muslims shall capture people of our, meaning American, nation, or their goods and bring them to our Moroccan nation, to our Lord, he will set them at liberty. Which nation are you a part of? Remember, we have a treaty with the United States of America. We're the original Americans. Yes, we are. But we are Moors. Moors are Americans. Same way you got Morocco, Al-Marak, America. That's how the transliteration happened. Okay? So really, you're looking at two sides of the same coin. You're looking at a mirror when they're saying American, Moroccan. American, Moroccan. Muslim, Christian. Okay? These weren't necessarily European people. These were people who looked like us. Okay? Here we go. Seventh article. Instead of interruption, the original has a word meaning difficulty. All right. Check article number 7. If any vessel of either party shall put into a port of the other and have occasion for provisions or other supplies, they shall be furnished without any interruption or molestation. If any vessel of the United States shall meet with a disaster at sea and put into one of our ports to repair, she shall be at liberty to land and reload her cargo without paying any duty whatever. Okay? So as you can see, this right here to me is dealing with tolls or taxes that have to be paid. Okay? So if they're traveling at sea and they happen to come into one of our ports to repair, they shall be at liberty to land and reload their cargo without paying a duty or whatever. Okay? 9. Let me go back to that original. The 9th article is that if any vessel shall be cast on shore on any part of our coast, she will be left to herself that she may consider what suits her best, be it to sail out from by another place or to transfer her cargo, or whatever else may be convenient to her. Nobody shall approach her as she is under our protection. Likewise, if a vessel enters a port or wind forces her to put into a port, she shall not be compelled to unload her cargo. On the contrary, she shall remain under our protection until she sails out by her own free will. I need to drink more. I do a lot of talking. Okay. All right. Ooh, throat felt rejuvenated, boy. I tell you. All right. So let's say your car breaks down, right? Or your vessel breaks down. You got cargo on it. You got some guests, maybe some travel members, children, some things of importance. You can't get the vessel moving. You got to put it to the side. Normally, you see when people leave their cars on the side of the road, it gets towed. When you're operating with your vehicle attached to your treaty and something happens, you have to leave the vehicle. Maybe you need to leave it and transport your shit so you can get to where you need to get to and come back for it another day. It will not be taken. Why? Because it's under the protection of the empire. And vice versa for Christians. Okay? Ah. Now, the 10th article is that if any of the parties shall have an agreement with any Christian nation, and the engagement takes place near a town of one of the parties, we shall help each other against that nation until she be defeated or have gone away. Or if a vessel shall be cast ashore in Owadnon or in another place, the Christians being aboard shall be under our protection until they reach their country, if God please. Meaning when they got to take that water back with them back to Europe, they're going there under protections. Okay? I'm going to read this 10th article again. If any of the parties shall have an agreement with any Christian nation, and the engagement takes place near a town of one of the parties, we shall help each other against that nation until she be defeated or have gone away. That means if, someone's trying to intrude or come in on the slide, meaning they're trying to implant a base so they can, uh, usurp what's already in place. Okay? So that's what they're saying. As far as that goes, our obligations when it comes to protecting each other, because we're both giving each other peace and friendship. Okay? So we don't go against each other. But if anyone comes against us, we have each other's back. All right? I'm gonna stop at 10. That's gonna be part one for the series, y'all. Y'all can go back and decipher. Uh, y'all can decipher this video. All right, and just stay tuned for part two of the series. All right, I'm gonna do it in three parts. So that's why I'm knocking them out in tens. All right, first part will be 10, first 10 articles. Part two will be the second 10, and then part three, the finale, will be the last remaining 5, and then closeout session. All right. So Islam, everybody. Love you as always. Peace. Glad the information helps. Um, you know, keep going over this. All right. Get your treaty embedded into your mind. All right. This treaty is everything. All right, fam. Peace. Love y'all. Enjoy your night.